This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everyone. The town of Cottage Grove will hold a public hearing at 7 p.m. on Monday, April 20th, to receive comment on the proposed amendments to the following sections of the town's code of ordinances. Amending sections 16.01 and 16.02 of the town's code of ordinances for compliance with new recycling requirements.
Got too many words after that, period.
Amending
That's
and
from-
amending
That's from the last one.
Yeah.
Period.
section 11.08 false alarms prohibited.
Yeah, that's not right.
Huh?
That's not right. It's only 16. I just copied the notice from the.
Oh, yeah.
last one.
Okay.
It's only 1601 and 2.
All right.
This is directed by the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources to be in compliance with new state recycling statutes. And it has been reviewed by our representative and our contact with the DNR. Christie pointed out to me that there is a reference missing. It's because I pulled this section out of a bigger section, but about halfway down page 5, it says error reference source not found. It's just supposed to be referencing the section of our code that talks about the yard waste drop-off site, which is 15 or 1609 or something like that. I'll fix that before I post it.
I thought it was well done, and I learned things about the different numbers that are on the bottoms of containers that we recycle.
They're changing, I guess, or upping our requirements for like the recycling grant that we get each year. And one of the things they asked this time when I was doing the report is how we're contacting businesses to make sure that they're recycling. And so I actually just got a list of all the commercial zone properties in the town, and I think what we'll go ahead and do is send this ordinance, or at least the portions of it that refer to businesses, to all of those businesses, so then we can say that we told them about it. Because they're essentially supposed to recycle the same way everybody else does, but they have to, pay for their own service. It's not something that we do as a special charge like we do for residential.
I don't know that I've seen recycling containers next to dumpsters. It's like, yeah, we'll just all throw it in here.
Yeah, so, I mean, we need to,
No.
we need to make sure that they realize that they're supposed to be, and that's one of the things that I thought we would do after this is adopted.
Anyone have any comments?
I'll move to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All right. The Town of Cottage Grove will hold a public meeting immediately after the public hearing. And you may join the meeting at GoToMeeting or live. We have a quorum present. The meeting was properly posted. Let's stand for the flag pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have the minutes from our last meeting.
I'll move approval as presented.
Second.
Motion by Christie, second by Mike to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Finance report and approval of bills.
You might notice that the bills to be paid include the first quarter payment to the fire department for their pay-per-call. Say that every time. Pay-per-call. About $11,000 worth of incident responses.
We're paying the whole boat when hitting up the village
Yeah,
for.
I billed them today, yeah.
Wow, that is a chunk. They put in the time.
What's that?
The fire department puts in the time.
Yep. Yes, they do.
It's time they're getting something.
Is there a motion?
Make a motion that checks issued. Is there second, what's the deal on that? Is it
It should be
38573 to
38. 632,
38632?
yes.
Okay. And EFT payments issued at $20,066.28. And void, what do we get? Void 38541, 38555, and 39573.
Second.
Motion by Mike, second by Christie to approve checks number 38573 through 38632 with EFT payments of $29,066.28 and voiding checks 38541, 38555, and 39573. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, motion carried, and you have the per diems in the back sheet.
And the building permits. Gonna make a motion to approve both. Do you need two motions or
Your choice.
make a motion to approve both the building permits and the per diems?
I'll second.
Motion by Mike, second by Christie to approve the per diems as well as the March building permits. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next, public concerns, public's opportunity to speak to the town board about any subject that is not a specific agenda item. We have one of our illustrious
Yeah, if you
state
don't mind me doing a little
legislators
public
here.
comment. So I mentioned to you guys I would come back again after we came back after the holidays. And so just to give you a little update. So we did have 10 days in the assembly where we met in January and February. We did end session, in my opinion, a little early in mid-February, but that's majority party makes that decision. There were some really, really good legislation that made it through this time that we were really happy about those. So I want to highlight because there were people around the state that did just massive advocacy work for postpartum Medicaid expansion and Gale's Law, which is expands the insurance coverage for breast cancer screenings. Those two bills finally got passed into law after years and years of people throughout the state advocating. So those were like really good bipartisan bills. Governor signed those into law. PFAS, 2 years ago in the budget, they put aside $125 million to deal with PFAS contamination in the state. That was for municipalities and individual homeowners. The problem with that is they never made a decision on how that money was going to be sent out. So the money just sat there for 2 years. And to answer one question, yes, they invest that money. And so 125 million is now 132 million. It is in an account that earns interest. Good news, we finally came to some agreement between the governor and the Republicans and the DNR to get that money out the door. So municipalities should be getting that money. There are places in the state that were still drinking bottled water for years. And individual homeowners can now start applying for that money as well. So that's really good news for the state of Wisconsin. Couple other things we did, the federal budget bill required states to spend more money on Medicare and SNAP in the administration portion of that. So we've been working for a couple of years here in the session to try to figure out how exactly to do that. Thankfully, we passed that bill, so we now are in compliance with what the federal government requests us to do, and that's good. There were a task force that actually Speaker Robin Vos put forth. There were a few task force. One of them was on internet crimes against children. Bipartisan task force came through. We just signed into law. I think there were 3 or 4 bills from that task force. Extra supervision, some education, increased penalties. Again, those were really, in my opinion, really good bipartisan bills. The governor, probably 2 weeks ago now, signed maybe 30 or 40 smaller bills into law. He spent just like 2 straight days. There were some veterans bills, housing bills, just you name it, just this whole plethora of all these bills. So I tell people, if you have any questions about something you were concerned about that you're like, was that one of the ones that made it through?
He vetoed a lot too.
Let me know. He vetoed almost as, or probably more than that. Yeah, it's definitely a 50-50 with the governor. One of the ones he did sign into law, which I know is in the news quite a bit, was the online gaming bill with the tribes. I didn't even know this, but like DraftKings is illegal in the state of Wisconsin. Or all the ones like that. That's one I can remember. So now we have signed, the tribes will now be able to run online gaming in the state, which makes it legal in the state of Wisconsin, bring some of that money into the state.
But that doesn't change the fact that DraftKings and those other ones that you
Are
mentioned-
still
No.
illegal.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know. I know people who use them, so I don't know if anyone knows that they're illegal. I don't know how they enforce that anyways, but yes. There were some things we're still waiting on that I know people asked me a lot about. One was Knowles Nelson. We have not made any progress on that. That program is now effectively done. The program exists, but there is no money for it. Some of the communities in this area were really concerned about wake boat regulation. I don't know if that was anything here in the township, but the town of Oakland, for example, we didn't make any progress regulating those. Sandhill crane hunt and damage to farmers fields from sandhill cranes. We talked a lot about that, never came to any agreement on that either. So I'm assuming all of those will come back in the next session. I'm hoping we make some progress on finding compromises on those things. We were back, well, the other thing that they're still working on, I should say, and you hear a lot in the news about, is what to do with the budget surplus. So stay tuned for that. If we find any agreement on how to spend, there's like $2.5 billion of budget surplus still out there. I caution people when you read those stories about what to do with it, or if you're like, oh, we should do this or we should do that. It's not as easy as just spending all that money. It's kind of like if you have a savings account, you could spend it all, but if you know your bills next year are going to be more than your bills this year, you probably shouldn't spend all your savings on the vacation to Disneyland, right? Or Disney World. Like, you should save some of it. I'm kind of actually fiscally conservative in that, and I think we should not be spending all of our budget surplus this year. We should probably keep some of it. But
We do have a rainy day fund besides that.
Yep, which is also $2 billion. I think people are just, there's just concern out there. We know we're running a budget deficit. That budget surplus will be gone in a few years, even if we don't spend it. So we need to be careful, I think. I would
We
hate,
always spend more than we make.
we will in the future. We don't
We've been doing
now.
it- Recently, we haven't, but for years, we did that
Well, the state of Wisconsin has to have a balanced budget.
supposedly.
That's what they tell me. Yeah, in my time there, that is, sort of the thing. And the rainy day fund used to be zero. And, thankfully we've got that up a little bit just in case, some major catastrophe, or we've kind of been lucky, I think, as far as weather related, or, who knows what might happen with the big catastrophe. So we'll wait and see. That's still to be determined. I hope we spend some of it. I hope we get it out. We need some property tax relief. Schools need money. Municipalities need money. There are certain good things we should be spending that on.
Could you tell me why did he veto the tax on tips and?
I'm just gonna ask that same question.
Yeah, I think.
I don't get it.
Yeah, well, I think, and I probably shouldn't speak for the governor, but my guess is some of these things that are really high money items that would cost the state quite a bit of money. I mean, that would eat up a fair amount of the budget surplus, right? Like, that could spend some of the budget surplus if we agreed to no tax on tips and no tax on overtime. The problem is we set up a budget and we negotiate and we figure out what we're going to do with our money, how much revenue, what we're going to spend, pretty much. We still go, there's some flexibility there. But when these big ticket items come up after we've already decided on a budget, it throws everything, it throws this big wrench into the budget.
Are you for it or against it?
I'm against it, the way it was set up. If we had put it into the budget and budgeted for it and planned for it, that's a different story,
The budget for this year,
right? The 2-year budget.
then why didn't you vote on it and enact it next year and then make it part of the budget?
I mean, we can, once we do next year's budget, we can try to work on it there too. But we'll see.
Put it in there then.
So we do 2-year budgets.
Yeah.
So the next time we can talk about a budget is 2027.
Who's gonna do that? Who's gonna bring that up again to put that in there for these people?
Whoever gets, well, the governor starts with the budget, whoever we elect.
No, I mean, as far as this tax and tips, to
And-
put that back in there for them.
I mean, anyone could request that gets in the budget, the majority party.
If the Democrats win, it will not come up.
I don't know if that will,
I've been told.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of that being the way we reduce tax burden on people.
But you were just looking at spending what to do with the $2 billion.
What type of tax burden were you referring to?
I mean, I would So 2 questions.
Go ahead.
I would suggest we use the budget surplus to fund some schools because that would give immediate property relief. We hear from a lot of people that property taxes are, like, that's the number one thing I hear from people. Can we reduce our property tax bill?
But when has a school ever reduced their spending even when getting more money from the state?
Well, I think what would happen, or what we hope would happen with that, and I can't control what an individual school board does,
I
right?
agree, sure.
But we do have a levy limit, right? And the reason that your taxes go up, so the school says, let's make it a really easy number, right? Like 10 million, right? That's what the school can get in revenue from their residents. So that $10 million bucket of spending comes either from the state or from their residents. If the state fills the bucket a little bit more, then the residents don't have to put so much into that bucket of money for the school to spend. School can't make a bigger bucket. So there's no way they can, if we give them more money, they can't raise taxes. Referendum, people can raise their own taxes.
Well, if the prices go up on housing, like, you either get it that way or you get it on a tax levy. You get it one way or you get it the other. That's how this is defeated,
Yeah.
this whole system, because prices on houses keep going up and up and up. So that's
But-
more taxes, property tax.
Maybe, but the school levy, the amount of money they can ask from people doesn't really go up very much.
It goes up by the amount of, if the price of all the houses in the village went up, you can go up to that amount.
It's
No,
just like.
Oh, yes, you can.
It's just like with, I mean, it's a little different than our levies, but.
Yeah.
It's just like when we have a reval and all the prices.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we get more taxes. It just spreads out who
Well,
pays them.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
we don't do this, the school taxes, that's like 50% of our taxes.
No, but I mean, it's the same principle as when we do a reval,
Yeah.
when all the
We don't
values-
need, yeah, we wouldn't, that is not based, just like you said. The property values may go up, but we may not need to spend any more money.
but our levy doesn't. We have a levy limit too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We can't
I know that.
levy more. So when the values go up, mill rate goes down, but what we net from it stays the same.
And schools are
Yeah, I
the
understand that.
same way.
Yeah.
That bucket, they can't be like, oh, let's reassess all our properties so we get a bigger bucket.
But it
And then
sounds
ask
like
for more state money.
But it sounds like their bucket is filled it from 2 different sides, where ours is
Yeah.
only filled. from
Right.
tax.
That's right.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So for us, for residents to pay less, state would have to put in more money into the bucket. That's the way to reduce property taxes on schools. Right? Because you can't really increase the bucket. So I think that's a good thing the state can do, is to reduce property taxes that way. The other question, as far as state taxes, right? How do we provide state tax relief for people, like on your income tax return, right? How do we make you, or allow you to pay less there? I think there are a lot of ways we can do that. No tax on tips is one, no tax on overtime is one, right? Those are to the federal government. By the way, those both sunset in the federal government. Those are only for another year or two, because we don't want to make that in perpetuity in case we can't afford it. I think there are other ways to provide targeted tax relief to people who really need it. You can increase the homestead credit, you can increase earned income credit, one of the things the governor signed just recently was no tax on National Guard salary. There are lots of places. So you're probably right. I don't know if there are enough Democrats to say no tax on tips is a good thing. But as part of a bigger bill, maybe. I don't know. I voted no, and my husband makes a ton of money on tips. He's a
Crazy.
bartender, and so, I mean, it would have helped me. I think you put it in the budget, don't bring it back later.
So
You
the
know.
400-year
Mhm.
levy increase makes the bucket bigger for 400 years.
If they want to,
If the schools want to.
right,
Well,
right.
okay.
Well,
Which
I
goes back
mean,
to your point, are they not going to take extra money?
Well, that's a referendum, so the people chose that. Some of them did.
well,
anyway.
so you're right, you're right. Each year, so some schools were stuck at $11,000 per student, and they've been stuck there
Right.
For a long time.
325.
Right, so now it's 11,325 and then it was 11,360. The idea is to try to get some of those schools up to the schools that spend 16,000 or $18,000
Right, right.
a student, right? Like we have to somehow figure out how to do that.
But it
I
doesn't limit
think
the
the
other schools.
400-year levy limit was this 400-year veto was a terrible idea.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can come out and say that. I think
Oh, I think
doing
that's-
it for 4 years, let's say.
Yeah.
Maybe would have been reasonable, right? Or the 2 years of the budget
Sure.
would have been reasonable to me. I think it's,
But all school districts can go up by that
Yes.
325, 360.
yeah.
So
yeah.
even if you're already spending 16,000 per student, now
You
you can
can
spend
still,
16,325.
And I think you're
You're
seeing
never gonna
oddly
get.
some
I know
of
what the
these.
intention was, but it's just gonna keep going.
Yeah. Well, you know what the original intention was, but I think it's really interesting. Governor Tommy Thompson, when this was all established, said, at the time Governor Thompson was governor, property taxes were going crazy. School spending was out of control. And he said, here's what we need to do, everybody. We need to just tamp that down, right? We need to control property taxes. We need to control the levy limit. And what's the third part? There was a three-legged stool. What happened is that they decided not to increase levy, or they stopped how much the state was spending. Then they got rid of, they kept the levy limit, but reduced this and got rid of that. Like the system fell apart. It was a great concept to begin with. The concept to begin with was, let's control property taxes. It can go up a little a year, and the state will increase a little a year too, and therefore property taxes wouldn't have to go up. It was a great idea. The governors after him, including Democratic and Republican,
Sure.
got rid of it, which was a terrible idea, because he was right. As much as I hate to admit, I'm pretty sure I didn't vote for Governor Thompson, but he was definitely right on that concept. And one last thing, I know I've taken a ton of your time today. Or did you have another question? Certainly.
No, we talked about taxation and what taxes are we talking about? And I think you just answered.
Related to,
Related when you said property or tax relief, or what tax relief are you referring to?
that I would support for that we have going on. I mean, so in the current budget, we put in, there were two things in the current budget that to help senior citizens, which was the $24,000 credit per person for senior citizens that they could take off their taxes.
24,000?
If you're over the age of 65 or 67 of retirement income, not Social Security, which is already not taxed in the state. It was stuff after that. So that has made a big difference for people. That's been a huge help to senior citizens. If those senior citizens are paying taxes, then they got a tax break. Not everyone is.
But the people that own homes, people that are family, I'll just say 30 to 45, 30 to 50, and they own homes, seeing everything, property tax going up, or they have taxes on their tips, they have taxes on their wages, there's taxes on their gas. There's taxes all over the place. So
Yeah.
where are you really gonna slow up? And then we have referendums for school where they
Yeah.
can write their own ticket.
That is the hardest group of people to get targeted tax relief to, right? Because they're not senior citizens, so we don't think about that, or they're not really low income, which is why we have to somehow figure out how to reduce what we can. Is that property taxes? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
We haven't done much for that group.
Pretty soon something will bust.
Yeah,
Too close.
we are. Well, we're seeing it in a lot. I have two children in their 30s and they just filed their income tax. They have literally no tax credits, right? You just pay tax on all that income because you make too much. You don't own a home. You don't have kids because they're in their 30s and they live in Chicago and can't buy $1 million home. I mean, it's something we definitely have to figure out. I don't know how we pay all our bills
Don't create a bill.
and not tax.
Apparently we got 2 billion in the surplus.
Well,
Things must be pretty good.
don't do a service and you won't have a bill. That's kind of where it is. I know you have to have some, but not all.
Yeah, there's probably places where we definitely could say, let's spend less here, less there.
There's a lot of patch cut.
Yeah, I mean, there are
It's gonna-
places that we're gonna have to find.
Won't be liked, because I've been in the private sector. I've come into work one day and all the
Mhm,
doors are closed because there's a job cut going on. It won't be liked,
Right.
but it's a public sector. Maybe we just move from one piece to another where you're
Mhm.
needed, but
Yeah.
that's what needs to happen.
Yeah, there will be some cuts, I think in the future. Things are just getting too expensive and we can't keep raising taxes and paying for everything.
Well, the one thing about the town here, Democrat or Republican on the board, is we're all fiscally conservative.
Mhm.
Everybody that's
You
been on
have
it
to
for a
be in
long
a
time.
town. You don't
And
have enough money
that's a
not
key.
to be.
We don't argue about that kind of stuff,
Mhm,
money,
Right.
we're not gonna spend what we don't have.
Mhm.
The village is 60 million in debt,
Yeah.
and they keep spending. Thank God we're in the town.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, they spent on their new police station
Yeah.
and
That was really needed.
yeah, that
Anyway.
I cannot comment on, but yeah.
You don't own that police station.
I do not, nor do I vote in the village of Cottage Grove, so.
What?
No.
No.
No, I vote in the city of Fort
I know
Atkinson.
you do.
There, one issue may have, and this will be it, I'll let you get to your regular business. We did go back for a special session on April 14th to talk about gerrymandering. The governor wants a constitutional amendment to ban political gerrymandering. We have not actually met on that. We had about a minute the first day we were there and a minute the next day. And so that's still open. We may still have that conversation. The majority of Wisconsinites would like us to have that conversation. I would like to have that conversation. So we'll see what happens with that. Currently, we're just waiting. So.
Just one thing for you, I told your office you couldn't come to
I
our
know.
memorial on Saturday, not on Memorial Day.
Right. I kept Memorial Day weekend open except for Saturday where I am having a
Yes.
bridal shower for my daughter at my
Thanks for the
house
call back.
at noon. I was like, I called her and I was like, do you think I can get to Cottage Grove in the morning and get back? She was like, Mom, no, I do not think you can. We cannot have our whole backyard set up for a bridal shower. So I will keep it on the calendar for the
I
next year.
appreciate you calling.
If you always do it
I
on the
called back.
Saturday,
That was good.
I would love to come in the future.
I do have one other thing, and this is something near and dear to my heart. As a disabled vet, the state has a wonderful program for those individuals who are 100% disabled to have their state income tax,
Property tax.
or
Property tax,
excuse me,
yeah.
property tax refunded if you're 100% disabled.
Yeah. And it goes to your
Anyway.
spouse
If,
if the
Well,
person
correct.
passes away too. Mhm.
There has been over the last 10 or 12 years that I'm aware of, that for veterans that are 70% or more, that it would be prorated. And
Yes.
gosh darn it, can you pass it, please?
I know, right? That is, we have tried to get that in the budget every time. It gets pulled out every time. Last few times, the Republicans have pulled it out. We try to get it back in, and veterans groups have talked to me about that one, and I agree with you. So
Whatever you
it's-
can do, please don't let it fall off your radar next year.
Yep, we'll try to get it in the budget again. Yeah, because that's a good one, and it's not incredibly expensive for the
No,
state to
no.
do it, right? We're not talking $100 million here. It's pretty targeted
Yes.
to people. And it's pretty well regulated. There's, it's not fraud. There's nothing weird. I've done.
Correct, because you're
taxes
taking your
and-
information and bouncing it off the VA. And as we all know, the VA is like notorious.
70% for 100% healthcare at the VA.
Mhm.
At 70%.
You get.
Yeah.
Yeah, not 100%.
Mhm.
You get dental at 100%. but,
Yeah. But, so anyway, please, if you could, keep it on your
It is
radar.
on the radar.
I personally would thank you very much for it.
We'll keep trying for that
Okay.
one. Yes, indeed. So, but feel free to contact whenever you guys have questions. I'll spend the rest of my summer unfortunately campaigning for the next election, so I probably
Okay.
won't get back. But I'll
Thank
hang around and
you.
hear
Thanks
what
for
happens
stopping.
on the rest of your meeting there.
Thank you for the blue book.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I missed you that day, but.
Next item. March police activities.
I don't know what the others have been telling you guys, because I haven't been here in a year, so. So we're doing great. Lots of enforcement, lots of calls, which are cutting down on some of our traffic enforcement, but for the most part, running smoothly. Both cars are out of the shop, so that's good. They're working again. Yeah, they were broken. Now they're good. Yeah. You guys have any questions off?
I think the three of you will probably, hopefully will be here a while, you know,
Yeah, I have 8 years till I retire, and then,
Yeah. that thing with the guard, going to the guard, that was not good. The guy that left to work full time, that's a big surprise.
yeah, Sean has zero intentions of going anywhere, and Josh is very happy, and
Yeah,
the three of us work extremely well together.
great.
All on the same page, we prioritize the township. Yeah, it's been he's a great fit.
Good to have you.
Yeah.
I said you heard what I said there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Do you miss the signboards? Or do they, we don't have them up anymore.
They're up, they just don't transmit data anymore.
Yeah, they just don't keep data.
But like, they'll tell the person they're speeding, and I mean, I've been in this spot going on, 11.5 years, so it's like, we know where the problems are, and we just keep an eye out. Those at least keep people in check when they are speeding, and it reminds them, sometimes people try to beat the board and see how high they can score by driving as fast as they can, but we're pretty good about being out there and being proactive.
You said they're off? What?
No, they're on.
They're on, right?
They just don't you have to pay after
Oh,
2 years
yeah,
for the
that we
service.
decided not
But
to.
like, it's the same numbers repeatedly, and,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's not worth it, but we know where to be.
Yeah, I know.
But it does help as a deterrent for us, especially with all three boards working.
Do you miss that data or not? Because it's something to think about for next year.
No.
If you miss it.
It doesn't do anything for us. It just tells you that 46,000 cars travel down a road in a month. It tells you the speeds, the peak times, but the peak times never change. It's always rush hour right before, and then it'll be a stray, like, just somebody flying down the road at a random time. Might not be the same time every day, so it doesn't really, they're accurate, but it's not information that helps us do any better, so we don't really need it. And it's a waste of your money if you don't need to buy it, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're getting close to the time when the village is gonna be doing their construction on the roundabouts at the north end there, and they're gonna be shutting off T to the west from the roundabouts.
TT.
TT, excuse me, sorry, yes.
Oh, it's the same.
T's further north.
Well, but there's too many T's. in one.
I know.
Agreed.
But, so again, we would appreciate,
Enforcing my gas and like it is.
actually, I would say, yeah, some pretty heavy enforcement, because I can't imagine the traffic not being anything but vroom zoom zoom, because of one of the ways people get to work in the morning isn't gonna be there anymore.
Baxter and BB will pick up too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're out on
So
all.
there's gas in the
for
BB?
sure.
What's that?
Who's gas?
Yeah.
in the
If you
beef?
guys are concerned
So you got
too, it's up to you guys, you don't have to, it's just a
Class B now,
suggestion,
so-
but,
It's been
if
pretty
we
quiet.
start noticing issues, the night guys can come in a little bit earlier, or they can come in on overtime and we can work double up and hit the areas until because, with our numbers, they keep coming down every year with the citations because people are actually complying. So we're seeing like that we are getting compliance. Everyone knows that if they're speeding, we'll get them. So
But I think you're gonna get
we're gonna get more.
a new crowd,
Yep.
so to speak, but
But
those who
like I
probably
said,
don't,
if this project's supposed to take how long? Is it,
it's gonna be.
Most of summer.
yeah,
And then after they get through with that, they're gonna shut down the N going north,
Mhm.
because they're gonna take out that bridge, so that's even gonna still,
yeah, we'll get new people, but the word travels pretty fast. The first month will always be the worst, and then after that, people start, I got a ticket, they tell everybody they know, and then we start seeing the compliance, and it's the same people that are gonna start taking those routes. So, yeah, the first month is usually always the worst whenever there's construction. And then after that, it'll taper off. We'll still have the people that just are gonna fly through there no matter what, but, you know, like I said, if you guys want us to do overtime to cover some extra hours to like double up, because if Gaston and Baxter are problems at the same time, we can only be in so many places at once. But it's up to you. Otherwise, we can flex if we need to, or, whatever you want.
Yeah, I think we'll just wait and see how things get going and hopefully it won't be too bad. When does the county start on the bridge on BB?
Until June,
End of June.
middle.
And that's gonna be shut down.
BB will be completely closed until end of
Which-
September
Which bridge?
on BB right by Baxter.
Oh, okay.
Did you notice they did all the brush clearing on that here not too long ago?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so that's June 13th or 15th or something like that. They're shutting it down.
That's the bridge that always gets called in about parking. Is that the
Yeah.
same? Yeah,
For the
Okay.
Eagles.
yeah. In the DNR land right there.
Yep.
Yep. That's all I have.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate
guys.
everything.
Stick
Sounds
around
like-
for this forfeiture discussion though.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, yes, next item,
Okay,
about the stuff on the tracks.
hello again.
All right, next item, discuss and consider the forfeiture amounts in the track system by the contract deputies when citing for town ordinance violations tabled from last month.
So just to make sure everybody understands what you're looking at here. Our ordinances have forfeitures identified by class levels A, B, C, D, and those class levels all have ranges on them. But and Jen, please correct me if I am being dumb about something, because I don't totally understand your side of things, but from what I understand, the yellow column, they have a fixed number for each of these ordinance violations, and that's what they can cite. So even though we say you could give that this offense could be $50 to $500 on first offense, but if it's $50 in tracks, they're gonna get $50, cited $50. And this yellow column is only the town's portion of it. It's not, the tickets are higher than that because there's other fees that go to the state and the county. But basically, it's just, what we're asking you to look at is, are those appropriate first offense amounts? Because they can't get any higher, you know, they can come to court, but the judge isn't gonna make it higher, he's gonna make it lower, if anything. And then the other thing to keep in mind is that some of these, they're never gonna hit a second offense number unless you add another line to tracks. So let's say, I mean, one that, I don't know, I can think of one, for example, burning permits, you know, I always think about that, you know, if you get the first burning permit, maybe you didn't know any better, but and maybe you don't need a huge ticket. This is just I don't know if I even believe that, but just as an example, maybe you didn't know better, maybe you get a little ticket, but then you get another ticket, you should have known better that time, maybe it's a bigger ticket. Well, they only have one line in here for burning permits. So you're gonna get the same ticket every time, unless you guys add a second offense burning permit and it's higher.
So it'd be a second line on your track system showing,
It would just be another
Second and-
violation. It
Huh?
wouldn't even be a second line, it'd just be another violation. Like all of our, like we can stop the same people for speeding over and over again, the citation will never change. But like OWI, the amounts change per offense. You can look at it, I mean, you guys don't deal with 2 and higher, you only deal with 1, but it's up to you, we can keep writing the same one, but if you are like, well, you're not establishing it, you just have to come up with a set dollar amount, for the second offense, which wouldn't be a second line, it would be another
Well, as we're
violation.
looking at it right here, it would be
Yeah.
another line on this chart.
On this-
basically. In our way of simplistically looking at your tracks, it
Yep.
just would have to be another line on this chart, which would be another offense
Yep.
in your.
Yep, so then it
System.
would just, it'd say ×2, ×3, and then, yeah, as long as there's a set dollar amount, then we can write that. But yeah, like we were talking before, they can't find out when they get to court, like, okay, here's
Yeah.
increased penalty, it has to be established ahead of time, because that's their bond.
right,
So where it says first offense and there's a spread there, what,
So that's what our ordinance allows for. So our ordinance was written, I mean, they don't really speak, each other's language, how they issue tickets and how our ordinance was written. Our ordinance was written with flexibility in it, but they don't have the flexibility when they're out there citing these ordinances, these offenses. And so, so you have to use that flexibility to figure out for each of the individual offenses, where in the range you want them to be cited. They don't really jive. Our ordinance has, a class D is $50 to $500 first offense, $500 to $1,500 second offense. And you got different offenses here that are class D, and maybe one of them you're fine with a minimum $50 one, but maybe the other one is more serious and you would want to have that be 100 or 200 or something else, And so what you see in the yellow is what they have now.
Like, kind of like,
Well, like we have one that like we write when the fire department asks, like negligent handling of burning materials, like if it's on a fire one, but I mean, we can't really like grade stuff like by how severe it is, like it has to be a set offense
So there's a few
unless
of
there's a
them.
negligence.
There's a few of them for chapter 11, outdoor and open burning. There's a general outdoor and opening burning one that's 100. There's a burning without a permit that's 100.
you said, blast all the hell you want for $50.
Yeah.
And they're both these.
But you can have 2, 3, 4 through 10 if you want, as long as there's a set dollar amount, we can write it. And then our in-house records will show, how like they've been cited before. The problem is when we write ordinances for you, that's what shows up as blank or unknown offense on here. So like, it'll say like blank or it's on the end. And even though there's citations written in blank, they just don't import. It's strange. Or it'll say that will have to do with the unknown offense. I don't think there's anything ever in the blank column. But then, like I had a semi the other day that was overweight and it won't, like in our in-house, it has my summary of the citation of what I wrote, but it doesn't translate things that are not county. So it'll just say unknown offense and then it'll be blank in that, even though we know what it is, but we can't figure out what it is because all we have is a summary of that citation. But if we do a report, like if there's burning, it typically still even goes in the summary of a citation that says like they were cited. We can note specifically on those ones so we know how many they've been cited in the past. But that would probably be the best route because it just does not import any town ordinances the same as it does county.
Well, once they go to the is that you guys? That's not you guys, though. You do our
No.
ordinances.
No, but if, like I said, the semi, I think came back as, it was an actual like overweight. I think that'll show in April probably. But like, that's actually traffic, but there's some, like anything we write, like animal at large, if we write it for the county, it'll import in this, like this chart, otherwise it'll show unknown offense if we write it for you guys, because it's a totally different statute. So like some of that stuff's hard to track, but what Josh and Sean and I can do, because we're the only ones that write tickets for the town, is write a paragraph on what happened. And even if the stuff doesn't import, the ticket's still good. And then we can write on the bottom, like cited burning first offense. If we can do that, then we have a more, like, it's easier to reference. And rather than try to figure out what all this paragraph meant and how many times we've been there. Because we could have gone to the same house and cited them for I've had horse at large, but then we might go there for like a fire another time. It'll all look the same.
But that won't show up on Dane County's
No,
stuff.
nothing.
So what is this about then?
This is how much they're
We have to
fining
pick a
them.
fine.
This is how much they're.
Yeah, I
fining
understand that, but isn't it in the Dane County system?
No, because
They're new, because it's a second offense and higher. So if you want them to be more or the same, but Kim was saying if we add a bigger fine for like second offense, because they're clearly not complying, we have to add that to tracks, and then Seth can add those for you.
Okay,
if you
that's
have
my
them.
point. Trax is Dane County.
Yeah, but we still use that for all
You
the
do,
tickets we write.
okay.
it doesn't import things the same when we do things for the, like an ordinance, not like a traffic ticket, but an ordinance.
So in other words, you don't see burning permit violation
No.
down here because it's not, is that what you're
Because it's
saying?
your
Yeah.
sub-ordinance of an actual ordinance.
Well, alcohol beverage license, there's gotta be more than just one or two that are, why would that be on here?
These are things they can cite for, but they're not gonna necessarily report itemized out the way the things you're used to seeing do because they're local ordinance violations, not things that are typically cited by Dane County deputies, right? State or county things.
So.
Yeah, so here it says on the back, well, maybe it's on, I don't know, it's on my back, but it's unknown offense. And that's how it shows up when we have it imported into our system.
On average, how many non-traffic citation ordinance citations do you guys write a month on average?
Between 1 and 5.
Okay, I'm wondering if you guys could, you're here, I can talk to you, but just keep track of what non-traffic citations that you issue. And just let us know when you guys come in, oh yeah, we had one for a burning, we had a second offense, whatever kind of thing, and just so we know. You
Yeah,
know,
we
which
can just
ordinance
email you when we write them. They're pretty rare. And then,
or whatever, I mean, it
yeah,
just,
or keep it in Excel. Like, if
whatever,
you
Yeah,
want-
I'm just saying,
yeah.
that way, you know, we just kind of know. But yeah, I just,
So somebody
But
wrote
it's
an ordinance
important.
ticket, I can't tell you what it is because I have no idea.
yeah, but I'm just
More than
saying,
me,
it
I
just,
don't know.
it's nice for you though, to have the second, third, or whatever offenses in tracks. So you know that you can go ahead and write it for that second offense. You know, so when it goes to court, that the judge is gonna know, oh, Sally Jones has been here before, or whatever it is.
And it's also whether or not there is a statute now, it'll show up in our summary and he reads the summaries. So it's still there. It just, like I said, on the ticket, it'll show everything. In our system, there's a lot of, the ordinance disappears, but like I said, the summary will say that. And the judge will know that it's second or higher every time.
Yes, and that's our main
Yeah.
focus for this.
We just need to put a dollar amount if you want a different dollar amount.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, we get a dog at large and then, you know, we don't get them all the time. But if we do, we write that and it might not be at large again for like 3 more years. Are we gonna write second offense or are you, like, that's the thing. You have to decide on that too.
Well, you gotta read the ordinance then, if you're citing our ordinance, because it'll say second offense within so much time or something like
Yeah.
that. That's all per ordinance.
Mhm.
Oh, that's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Hate to say it, but
It'll work.
for 4 or 5 things a month.
Changes to the.
No, I think the numbers are
I don't get it.
good.
It just depends. I mean, and then
What
if
about
there's
the,
some stuff called in from them, we might write more of it.
Seems like a lot of extra paperwork for you guys, you
And
know,
if-
I don't know.
It's no different than a traffic ticket.
I
It's the
just
same
saw it.
thing.
We were talking about the.
Get any neighbor feuds lately?
Also, line.
Neighbor kids
Yep.
here and there, yeah.
Yeah, I had one call me the other day.
No, this hasn't been updated for that, because remember this was in
They
your
told me to call you
packet
guys.
about the same time. This hasn't been
Probably
updated.
did.
I'm like, I can't help you.
She's on the call in second shift.
Yeah. If I would.
I wanted you guys to look at it and see if you think all the numbers are right.
Okay.
Does that seem like the right thing that you would like, that somebody should get ticketed for each of these particular kinds of offenses? And are there any that you think that there should be a
Second
step
line.
up?
Yeah, and I thought it was a good idea to track what's going on, pay attention to that before we go.
I don't know, I mean, does our court know that? Our court knows what local ordinances are.
Does David know your ordinance off the top of his head you're asking, or?
I mean, isn't the court records know what they were cited for?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
He'll see it all on the ticket
I
itself.
mean, if you ask the court clerk, how many times have we cited this ordinance?
I don't know that they'll know that, but she also has QuickBooks for
The
the,
clerk.
yeah,
doesn't- you would
whatever
think
that,
would-
she can probably keep track.
Yeah,
My one that I just picked out was the false alarm prohibited.
yeah, like I said, this document is before you updated that ordinance, because
Okay.
remember this, you had this in your packet last time,
Yeah.
and I haven't updated it with that.
All right.
So that one needs to be updated because that one has a specific forfeiture.
Yeah.
Well, that was a class, I don't remember now. That was a class D, wasn't it? But then that had a specific number in
Correct,
it.
right.
Yeah.
And it's
And I-
all in the counties.
But do we have to
No.
decide then, what the second offense would be? Just one number?
Yes.
And the third would be another number then?
Yes.
Okay, so,
So I don't know if you're ready to do it yet, now that you understand it, maybe you want to think about it another cycle, but.
let's catch her next year.
No. No.
There's always
I'd
May.
like to think about it. Is that okay?
Yeah, me too.
Let's
Jeez.
table
I
it.
think if you would all take it home and look at each line and think about it and compare them to each other and think about the severity of the offense and all that stuff. And then we maybe come back each with a suggestion that we could come to a consensus with.
Yes.
I would say though, like the other towns, I've showed you guys this a long time ago, but the other villages and contracts have the rip-off parking tickets, which are like these little envelopes that are like yellow or whatever, and they have a specific number per every ticket. And you just check the box instead of have to go through tracks, which means that you don't have all those extra fees that don't come to you, because you have to pay a portion of your citations, right? But it's like, I put it in tracks, it's $78 for parking ticket when everyone else is like 25. So
Oh,
then,
because it adds,
yeah, it adds all the fees. So like then you can check off, like parking on the wrong side of the road, parking where prohibited, blocking snow, handicap parking. I mean, we don't really have that, but
Oh, I
it
know what you're talking
exists
about.
here and there. And then you rip them off and you just put it on the windshield, and then they put the money in there and they just drop it in the mailbox, and or they bring it here. But it makes it so much faster for us to write citations too, because, and then like I said, you get more of the money out of it. But, and then it doubles and then triples in fines. Like, so if they don't pay that 25, it'll turn into 75 at some point.
oh.
So then you make more money when people don't pay, and then they suspend their license, or they suspend their license plates, and then there's another violation right there too. So you'll get your money in the end, because it goes to collections as well.
Do
So,
you have an example? Do you know of somebody that does that we could?
yeah, most of the other contracts too, I'll have them screenshot like a picture of their ticket book.
Okay.
And
Seems like
then,
we talked about that before.
yeah, we're like the only ones I think that don't do that, but it's super easy. I wrote those before. It takes, because you just write the plate on it. I don't even know if the owner's name goes on. You write the plate and then the make and the model of the vehicle and where it was parked, and then just right under the windshield, and then it's super fast.
So it's only parking tickets.
Though, yeah, only parking.
Okay.
You get a lot of different,
But I mean, in the winter, you're calling us, and then by the time I'm done writing the tickets, they're coming out to move the cars, because it takes so much longer when it goes through tracks. Like I said, then you get more money out of it. It'll double, it'll triple, and then they'll get a suspended license plate. And then you'll get your money through collections at some point if they don't pay it,
It's always the same people all the time too, so.
you know. But I'll get you an example.
Well, then, make a motion to table this to next month's
Second.
discussion, track system.
motion and a second to table till our next meeting,
Yeah, the first meeting in May.
May 3rd, I think it is.
Mhm.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
All right.
Right.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next item,
May
discuss,
4th.
I'm sorry,
May 4th.
4th. Discuss and consider adoption of ordinance 2026-04-20, amending sections 16.01 and 16.02 of the town code for compliance with the new recycling requirements.
These new recycling requirements, will it change our contact with our current, not at all, huh?
I would move approval of the new ordinance.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the ordinance amendments. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider a request for variance to section 8.02 of the town code driveway permits for joint driveway at 3434 Vilas Road. And you have comments from the fire department. in your packets tonight. As well as the ordinance itself.
So Dan, how wide does this need to be with the gravel base? This driveway
For our ordinance,
for our ordinance?
a lot wider than they're proposing. It's over 200 feet.
Yeah, the ordinance has it at 18 feet
18
wide.
feet, yep,
18 feet.
plus 3 feet of, or 4 feet of clearance on each side. 6 feet.
Six, so a
feet.
total of 30 feet wide is the ordinance.
Okay, with the pavement or the, what we, you say, crushed rock portion has to be in an overlay, but the crushed rock portion needed to be
Gravel should be 18 feet, yeah.
18 feet. Okay, and then they want to reduce that so they don't have to put so much asphalt down.
Yeah,
Well, we don't have to put asphalt.
they don't have to put asphalt down, just has to be gravel.
It's the base
They're
that's
just doing- they
the
just want-
expensive part.
12 foot wide, the gravel, just, they weren't gonna,
They should be compacted, 12 inches of base,
Yeah, larger rock and then,
minimum 6 inches of crushed
just
rock.
clear space, 3 feet on either side of that, with no, no preparation kind of thing.
12 feet wide is basically like, if you look at our roads out there, that's a single lane.
Okay.
Not the whole road, just one single
One
lane.
single width. How wide is Fire or Irwin Road, for example? That's,
Irwin,
yeah,
probably 16,
16.
that was built. When was it built?
Well, the
40s, 20s?
Well, the original road
Yeah,
used to be where that little house is,
yeah.
called the old road. That's what the neighbors called it. That went up from there. Up
So
to
basically that was a driveway at one time, right? Like,
so I have, this variance is for me.
Oh, yeah.
So my name's Kieran. I have a copy of where I'm at so far. So some of the plans that are included on there. This is a copy of where I'm at so far for, my engineering plan for my driveway.
Is this what you sent this morning?
This is the one that I forwarded to you, I believe this morning.
Yeah, they have that.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay,
As long as you got.
yeah, I printed copies.
how wide is the existing driveway off of Vilas Road?
10 feet.
10 feet wide?
Yeah, the existing driveway there
Yeah.
that I am attaching to, yeah.
That is 10.
I believe when we measured it, it was 10 feet.
Seems narrower.
Seems narrower than 10?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I haven't measured it yet.
So I purchased the property that's attached to that driveway to the south. It's a residential lot. There's some topography issues. It's a really, really steep hill coming off of Vilas. The only place to put a home is up on top of that hill. So we looked at having a driveway come in more on the south side of the property. There is kind of like an existing drive that they had put in previous to me purchasing it, like coming off of the house just to the south. And then the amount with the cutback and with following the rules for that ordinance of it being 18 feet wide, we would, putting a cutback through on that hill and getting it up the hill, I'd be taking out a 80 to 90 square foot area in both directions. So basically eliminating the entire forest on the hill right there. And there's also a wall that is what I was told when I purchased the property that was erected by a first immigrant farmer family that put up like a stone wall in the 1800s that travels through multiple properties there on Vilas. So there's a large section of it there that's on the property, which was part of the draw for us in purchasing it. So I don't really want to rip down that wall. So from everyone that I spoke to, the best option was to do a joint driveway agreement and have our driveway come in off of that existing driveway that was already present. So I have a driveway agreement that we had drawn up with the real estate attorney with the owner of that property to the north. And what I'm requesting a variance for is in grade or length. So obviously I want emergency vehicles to be able to get up there. I have a family, I'm 5, I have a 2, 3, and 4-year-old children. And I want emergency vehicles to be able to get up there. I want my family to safely be able to get up there, but I need to be able to get a driveway up there and get up to flat ground where we can build a home. So what I'm requesting the variance for is either the length of the driveway and or the grade. So somewhere less than 12% grade and somewhere in the vicinity of 300 feet in order to get to safely have vehicles go up and down. You know, it's one or the other. If the home is closer, then the grade is higher. If the home is further away, well, then I have a longer driveway. So I'm trying to navigate what the best way to go about putting the driveway in here is. And that's what I'm asking the variance for, is so that I can come to put together a plan knowing that, yes, I can go less than 12 and more than 200, but less than 300 feet and get my house up there.
Do you own the property and all?
Yes,
I think you'd want, your best plan is to make whatever safe and reasonable.
for sure. Yep. And
So that, because the thought I had was,
yeah,
if we have a bunch of emergency vehicles there, and let's say the ambulance is up there and we have some, whatever engines or brush truck,
100%. Yeah.
ambulance is like clear to leave. But maybe not, I don't know, I'm thinking that the ambulance has to leave to go to another call because it's not necessary to be at the location
Mhm.
and it can't get out.
For sure. I understand that. So I have, right now, what I have figured for the apron in front of the driveway is 30 feet by 50 feet wide. And then we would do an additional 16 to 18 foot by 16 to 18 foot, pull off in one direction. So, based off of the dimensions that I was given by the fire department for their vehicles, I mean, I want, obviously, you know, and I can tweak this working with an engineer. Maybe we make the pad 10 feet longer, and disturb more area. But I'd like to, you know, limit the amount of erosion, limit the amount of trees that I have to take down. There's a lot of old mature trees there. Obviously, I'm gonna put my house there, so that's gonna take out a chunk, but I would like to limit the amount of trees that we have to eliminate and retaining walls and everything else. And if you look on that back page of the one that I just gave you, the second page, it shows, if you're looking at, right here, so this dotted line here shows where I would be cutting through the hill at the 10.9% grade. And I'm cutting through about 10 feet once you get towards the top of the hill. So there's retaining walls of 10 feet tall on either side of the driveway as you go. So if I was to, I gain for 250 feet, I would gain roughly about 3 feet there. But then if I can push the house back further, then I gain even more there, where it's gonna be, then I can go less than 12 and still get up there where I can have a house up there and not have it be sitting in a hole.
There's no maximum in the ordinance for driveway length, is it? It's just that you have to build it to a different level when you get.
Correct, yeah. So,
County has an ordinance from their stormwater management that over a certain square footage, then you have to
Yeah.
potentially get involved with stormwater management,
Correct.
i.e. impervious surface.
1 acre of disturbed land, I believe is what it is.
Don't know.
I had to do
I would say
I had to
that
do 2 rain ponds.
Yeah.
For your driveway.
And my driveway is 200 and over 200 feet.
Yeah.
But there's no kind of water problems there when you're talking, how long is the driveway?
Well, currently there is no,
What you want.
my proposed driveway, I would want it to be somewhere between 200 and 300 feet. So,
Holy man.
yeah,
How many acres did you buy there?
2.56.
It's 10%. That's your disturbed area.
Okay.
What was that again? What'd you say?
He can disturb up to 10% of the total area to build his house and any other buildings along with the driveway.
And where is it now? What's it gonna be?
That I don't know. We'd have to calculate his driveway out
Yeah,
and then the apron.
the wider the driveway, the more it would be.
Are you getting close to that calculation, you think?
I think that I would be close to that calculation, yeah. And I would be, yeah, I would be dangerously over the calculation if I have to do 18 feet wide plus the 6 feet on either side.
This is 6 feet on the other
So
side.
you're trying to cut down your
3 feet on either
driveway.
side.
Yeah, does that count part of the disturbed?
If it's gravel, yes.
If it's gravel,
The county looks at gravel as an impervious surface.
Yeah.
but it's, but is that 3 feet the other side gravel?
I believe it just needs to be clear of debris, 6 feet on it, so it could technically be grass.
Or like branches hanging over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then the
it's all-
clearance above as well.
So that wouldn't, you just have to take your 18 feet, but but I have no idea how big your house footprint's gonna be.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, the main floor and garage is about 3,600 feet.
3,600 square foot.
Yeah, including the garage.
Don't we need that calculation before we
Well,
do anything or?
Well, I guess right now the thing is
But-
whether or not, first off, whether or not we're gonna allow 12 feet.
Yeah.
And, which I am not inclined to go along with, only for the fact that because things would be so tight, like right now, I mean, as wet as things are, if you dropped a couple of tires off on an emergency vehicle, I mean, you could swallow up a small child, you know, with, you know, and I can't afford to tie up, you can't afford to have an emergency vehicle blocking your driveway if that were to happen. And time of day, time of night, you know, it's,
What about making that 90-degree turn? Is
Off that 10-foot driveway.
Yeah,
what's that?
So if the existing driveway is 10 feet, then you gotta take a turn off of that 90 degrees onto a 12-foot driveway.
Yeah, and what did April say? The radius is,
17 or 24 points.
turning radius is 29 feet, 7 inches.
I almost want to see more of an angle here, you know, but I understand that's not your property.
Right, yeah, that's the other property. So I think that the approach that I had in totality is 30 feet where it meets the other driveway from end to end, but then obviously angles back into.
Yeah, that's just your apron,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
So if the amount that you need, you find out that while you're over, you know, with your house and everything, what would you do? You want to cut the road down more?
I don't know.
You get what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
know,
I understand what you're
'cause
saying.
you're cutting the road because it's all close to what it can be, right? But if your house is too big,
Yeah. then it be
would you cut the
amount of my
road down
house.
again? Or want to, or?
Ideally, I guess, I don't know what the actual total measurement for whether or not that's 10% or more
Yeah,
or
I
not.
have no clue.
So like what I was requesting now, like I feel like that's a separate thing, I guess.
That
Or-
is, that is.
Mhm.
So what I'm requesting is the variance basically so that I can get a house in there. Because it is a residential lot, it was existing residential lot, but in order to get a house up on top of it is problematic.
So are you asking to build a 200 to 300-foot driveway at the standards of a 100 to 100-foot driveway, or even less than that?
Correct. So I'm asking for the 100 to 200 feet. I'm asking to follow basically those same parameters for a 200 to 300 feet.
I'm wondering how any truck is going to get in there to deliver your building materials? I've looked at the deliveries in our neighborhood this year when we've had 2 new houses built. They're big trucks, as you can agree. How is that truck going to make this curve?
That's what I mean, I need to ensure that it can make that curve, because I need to be able to build a home up there, so,
Have you talked to any? Honestly,
yeah.
I couldn't do it. Now, I'm not a big truck driver, but just
Yeah.
knowing my skills. Dan, could you do it? You're probably a skilled truck driver. Could you do that with your
I don't know,
trucks?
it would be tight, it's gonna be really tight. I know right now, I don't think a fire truck can get to that house that exists there now.
I think what I was told was that their smallest engine
The
can get up
smallest
there.
engine can is what April said.
What does an engine do when we live in the town? We need tankers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Engine without water doesn't put out a fire.
That's why April said something about putting up a standpipe in there. But you said take a small engine up there and then have a standpipe and brush truck get there.
They pump water from the road.
Up a standpipe. How much longer does that take?
To get up the standpipe? You mean to pump it from there,
Yeah,
300 feet?
yeah.
You'd have to
You'd
nurse,
take
you'd have to
20
have 2 engines.
It'll take you 20, 30 minutes to get that set up.
Oh, to get this, no, we can set up a port tank and pump it up there, but you're probably gonna have to have a nurse engine to get it up there.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, that's not uncommon.
No, but I'm just saying,
I mean, it's a lot.
let's say 10 minutes counts, right? Like,
Yeah.
on a house fire, everything counts.
Oh, absolutely.
Why create or work with a complicated situation?
Oh, no, I'm not, I don't have any opinion except I'm just telling you what.
No, that's.
I remember
Good
when we
question.
turned down building on the corner where Galler is, the
Yeah.
company there, and it went 90 degrees there. The guy wanted to build a 200-yard driveway, and we turned it down.
And
The fire department said no.
Mr. Wendricks or whatever his name is, right? Going to build a house back there.
oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like, with this one, the reason that this is so difficult, problematic is that other than kind of up where I have like the house plan, that is kind of the closest spot that you can put a house. Cause the rest of it is, a slope of 30% all the way up.
What did you say about the neighboring property, the other?
The guy to the south.
Yeah.
That one's terrible.
Yeah, that one is bad.
I don't know how that one, I know you can't get a fire truck up.
Which one?
The house to the south of that?
Yeah, we have things listed where we can't get.
Yeah, so if you're coming,
Where
Can't
go
deal with
over
something
12
40, 50, 60.
on
12
Violet.
and 18 there.
Yeah, so
We're going the other, going south.
yeah,
Okay.
and then as soon as you come, where the big tower is on the hill?
Yeah.
So it's the building right there on the corner in that forest that's right next to that tower. So
Okay.
my property is just south of that, but on the hill right there on your left.
That's where you should put your driveway.
That's what I'm.
Is on by the tower?
Where the cell tower is, yeah.
Is that the
I can get that passed.
farm?
I know, right?
Yeah, Schwer's,
They don't like to share.
Yeah, short.
Yeah, the lady came looking was killing all kinds of birds, the tower there or something, as I remember, or some kind of, she passed away.
I mean, I would say,
And that's the house.
if there's some way you can get the existing driveway widened to make that 90 less of a hassle,
So that is part of my driveway agreement.
that would be ideal.
So-
If you could get that to the 18 feet.
So
And
in my driveway agreement, I have to, with the real estate attorney that we had drafted, from my driveway to the road, I'm replacing it all with new concrete and making it the same width as mine is
Oh, so
what I
12.
had. Is what I had.
But that would be how wide then?
12,
12.
yeah, would be what I would be requesting, yeah.
How long is your driveway from here up to this point? here?
Yeah, so it actually says right on here, it's 239 on this one, and 239 feet to the garage door.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
You're gonna plow that in the winter time and
Yeah, get the kids on on a four-wheeler.
Yeah, I doubt that. You ain't gonna go 200, 300 feet.
We have, at work, we have, my nephew will stop on the way to and from.
So even driveways that are 100 feet are supposed to be 16
16
feet
feet
wide.
wide.
Yeah, that's,
There hasn't been a driveway put in the last 13 years that's been under 16 feet wide.
Whoa.
you know, additionally, like I said, the radiuses here and here where it meets Vilas, you know, are practically non-existent. I mean, it's, you might as well almost call that a square corner. The trucks are gonna be cutting that, whether they're coming from whichever direction they're coming from. But
It'd be nice if where that flare is,
right here,
yeah, if that would continue just as his driveway.
oh, right here, just go,
Oh, no, this
I mean-
way.
oh, come this way, you mean?
If his driveway would just come right there. Up there.
Right, which is what I kind
That
of
would be
wanted to
ideal.
do, but then we run into a little bit more of the issue with the grade.
Yeah,
And then we also, you see that circle
with the X.
septic?
Oh, the septic. right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's, oh.
And then towards the bottom of the driveway, there is the drain field for the other home. The drain field is here.
Oh.
And then this is the septic riser where they have like the cover for the
Yeah.
septic.
Yeah, the tank.
So it shows the line here on the original plan set, but we had the line located and it's located on site right here. And I have that on the other.
Not much of a.
So this is the septic line that comes in to this vent pipe with the drain field here. So, yeah, so like widening this too much here, I might have to tear out the whole drain.
But aren't you going over that anyway with?
I'm gonna be
your-
going over the line, yeah, but then we'll be protecting the line. And then if anything ever happens to the line under, I have to pay for it as part of our,
Too big. You want your driveway smaller then?
Oh, because
Just 12 feet,
You understand, Jim?
too narrow.
Because that's a.
16 feet, like it
Your house is.
says for the,
Much driveway.
for the shorter driveway according to the ordinance. I think it's gonna be a lot better and he'd still have his 3 foot.
Yeah.
Oh.
so 16 feet with 3 feet on either side.
That's
or what?
20, yeah.
That's why he's
You
here.
live in a pole barn.
I mean, that'd
Well,
be
you got
better than 30.
Yeah, 18 feet.
I have 18 feet right here, yeah,
Marked out.
yeah.
I'll check all this.
And any more width is better, because like, even your trucks delivering your driveway,
Yeah.
all those straight trucks that are 34 feet long.
Right, we have a bunch.
That's a tough turn.
We got box trucks like that.
Yeah, like your furniture delivery people, like,
Right, that's what I was
are they
thinking.
gonna be like that there?
What-
Are they going to?
They're the
What's
worst
gonna-
drivers of them all.
What's gonna prevent you from cutting the hill down more? To lessen the grade and moving the house out closer.
What would prevent me from moving it up closer? The,
Cutting the grade to make it less than 12 degrees or 11.5 or whatever it is that you.
in the plan that I'd sent, that I have there, it's 10.9.
10.9, excuse me.
So it is, that, I do have it following that under 11 in there, but then we're cutting through the hill, and then once you get up to the top, you know, if the house is right there, we're already cut 10 feet into the hill, then the whole house is in the ground, underground.
So the ordinance, I'm still confused here. The ordinance for 200 feet or more is, the big difference there is the base mainly, but it has to be 12, it still has to be same width, but it's actually an area 6 feet or more from each side, so the encroachment is shorter on the,
It's 2 feet wider, it's 18 feet versus 16 for width.
And then 3
And then-
feet
and then-
instead of 6.
It says 6 feet or more each side of edge of driveway and a full 14 foot of width or
okay,
height.
there's 18, there it is, okay.
So, okay, is this a cost thing that you?
No,
want shortened?
I don't really care about the cost. I just want to be able to get my house up there. I want to be, I need to be able to get a driveway up there
Yep.
safely. I want to accommodate emergency vehicles. I want to make it as safe and the best plan possible.
Yep.
I just, with the parameters of like the topography of the hill itself and trying to, that's my problem, is staying within those parameters. And then also, if I was to do the 18 feet plus 6 feet on either side, that's just that much more erosion control, that much more retaining walls. I like the woods. There's some cool old trees in there. There's some 100-year-old oak trees, older than that. Some cool stuff that's why I like the property. I don't really want to demo it all.
I can
and cut it all
understand
down.
that, definitely. I gotta
But-
respect that, but the part about it is, this is what it comes down to. I know you wanna save that, but you need to put a reasonable road up there. Even though you're gonna have to cut in the hillside, it's gonna be extra money and it might be extra erosion, but that's kind of what you're looking at. When I view this, it's no different than us asking other developers to come up with an erosion plan and going to Dane County for all that. This is something, when asking for a driveway variance this is a first for me.
Okay.
I know that these here, they've denied some variances. So that's kind of where I'm viewing this.
Okay.
So it's kind of like if you open up a,
Have you checked with the insurance agent? Like, is there gonna be any problems with insurance if you have a substandard driveway compared to what the ordinance calls for?
That is a
Yeah, that was a good point.
Good
Yeah.
point.
That did come up,
What's that?
the
The
house I was
insurance
talking about.
might not cover it, if it's not.
Well, my point with that was, well, the guy's gonna pay for the insurance no matter what. But that doesn't mean it's gonna be approved, that the insurance company's gonna insure your property
Right.
back there. Because of the driveway, probably.
Yeah, we just don't want to see what, like.
And you thought this was easy, right?
South.
Yeah.
Well, he can't get a truck up there at all.
Right. Or maybe I put a sprinkler system in my whole home and
Because I mean, the ambulance is gonna have an easier truck up there than a fire truck.
right. So say I did it 16 feet wide, but then so 16 feet wide is the ordinance for a 100 to 200 foot driveway. So if I was to do it 16 feet wide and was able to go 16 feet wide and then 12% or low, then that would still allow me to be able to get a house up there and not be dealing with a lot of the issues that I am running into.
16 instead of 12.
Yeah, if it was to be 16 instead of 12, yeah.
Well, you're asking for a variance, so.
It would still have to be below 11 based upon the fire chief's letter. They're saying anything over 11 degrees would not be appropriate or safe due to the distance.
Right. So what I'm saying is it's grade or length. So if I was able to make the driveway longer and still have it be 16, then I would be able to accommodate the grade. But because I am trying to make it closer towards where I'm trying not to make it as long so that I can not make it 18 feet wide, then I'm fighting the grade then. So the closer I bring it to the existing driveway, the steeper it gets, and then I can't get to it. Versus the further away I make it, the more grade that I can pick up.
Well, what difference does it make if it's 11 degrees for 50 feet or, 12 degrees for 200 feet? It's still the angle and it's still the pole coming up off the ground.
It's still the pole coming up off the ground, but where the actual home sits, the home would be able to sit. If I was able to push it back further, where you approach at the house, it wouldn't be a giant retaining wall around everything and sitting in like a bowl. It would be, you'd be pulling up to a nice flat driveway.
You get to the top of the hill.
Yeah, because you'd get up on top of the flat land.
I knew a guy that built a house just kind of with this on, this is bringing back memories. It was years ago. So have you done your driveway calculation or your 10% calculation?
No.
You haven't? Okay, because I'm just curious.
No.
So your key thing is you want to push the house back so it fits in to the area much better. You'd like to keep the driveway narrower so that you don't rip out the trees.
Right.
And with the longer driveway, therefore you can cut a grade in there and lessen the angle.
Right. And
Under 11,
And what I'm under 12 or under 11, whichever is allowed. Or whichever you guys are willing to grant as a variance. So,
allowing more than 11% would not be appropriate or safe due to the distance. So we'd be looking at something 11 or less.
right, which I could accommodate if I pushed the house up. But then I'm making the driveway longer.
Yes.
So then basically somewhere between 16 and 12 feet is where I would prefer to be with pushing it back that far.
Can you get what touches Vilas Road now? Can you get that to match the 16 of your driveway? Could you get that there?
Can I get where Vilas Road?
So when you turn off onto his driveway now,
Yep,
and if that could be widened to 16, and then where your 33-foot radius onto your 16-foot driveway, could you do that? Like,
widen the 16 off of the road and then have mine be
16?
16, yeah.
because that would give them a better equation towards their 34 feet of turning for their
Right, you're gonna have 34
bigger
foot radius
trucks.
at each side of the driveway then.
Because you got 12, or you got 16 and 16 where then the 33 becomes that's more doable, because now you got another 4 feet to turn both ways, because if they hug the left side and turn, that'll give them a better turning radius onto that, going up that hill then.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, if you get that off the road too, all the way, that would make a huge difference for you.
yeah, and that's, I mean, obviously you all can see what I'm trying to do here and
Yeah, I know.
what I'm dealing with in
I
regards
know
to
it's not your
just a
property
tricky,
and.
just a tricky lot, yeah.
But you could get that agreement that Dan was describing with the owner that's there. right
So
now.
what the agreement is that I'm replacing all of that regardless. I have to replace that regardless, all the way to the road. So if I was like, hey, I'm gonna make it 2 feet wider on both sides, all the way to my driveway, I guarantee you'd be
Well, I'm
fine.
just wondering, like, I can't see that with the septic drain field,
Yeah,
I mean, if you can make it that much wider or not.
and not hit that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know that I can.
okay.
Cause they have, they started planting, it's maybe 9 feet off of that, but no more
The
than
start
that.
of it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then there's a bunch of arborvitaes on the
Yeah.
north side of it, which I could get a little bit closer, but
I know he slid down the hill this last year.
off the guy that was up there.
Hit this tree at the bottom of his driveway.
So this old concrete, now give me this again. Now you want to save that?
The concrete, no, I have to replace it as part of our.
All the old stuff that's been there since the 1800s or whatever?
Oh, no, that's a stone wall that's existing, it's shown on.
But that doesn't affect anything we're talking about,
Correct. No,
nothing.
nothing.
You want to keep.
It's just something that, yeah, I would prefer not to destroy. And I tried to draw this in a way like it's a straight shot, you know what I mean? I tried to make it, so that it was as easy as possible to get a vehicle up there.
How long is your guys' biggest tanker?
It's a tandem, you wouldn't make the turn with it. The tanker?
Yeah, is that
Remember, it's
30?
a tender, not a tanker.
I know, but is it 34, 36 feet?
It's
Or under
the tender, both the tenders are the same. I think they're 34,
34?
6, something like that. Yeah, they're both tandems.
So that's probably like a 42-foot turning radius?
Just because they're also conventional cabs, not cab overs like the engine is.
Yeah,
So the
no.
Wheelbase is way.
I'm just thinking though, like that, I mean, you're gonna back that up more likely. then you could do your entry, turn, and
And
then
probably never take water. And this is just a guess. We probably will never take water up the driveway because then we'll block the driveway. Nobody can get out. So
Yeah, but
we
doesn't
will
that
have, we will
auxiliary-
have to run LDH or something all the way up the driveway.
doesn't have that auxiliary pump for your hose though on that truck?
Yeah, but then
Would
you
you
block
back-
everybody in. So I don't know if we take
Oh.
it up there.
Just, yeah,
We do use it though.
I figured you'd have to back that in the driveway, get that straight shot on the hose.
We do back it in to do that because it has that, but
Yeah.
then if we need another tanker, we just buried our tender. So
That's why you
you
have two.
have two, but you gotta have more than two.
I'm thinking,
If you rental.
think out
Set
loud
up
here
for
a
that.
second.
Yeah,
I would like to see the calculations at 16 feet wide, all the way from Vilas up to wherever the house is going to be. That square footage, the square footage of his pad. I'm trying to do the calculations or have him do the calculations to find out whether or not Dane County Stormwater Management is going to get involved here. And
Good point.
because what we say here could just go right out the tubes, if the county doesn't happen to like it. And then I'm still gonna say, even though, according to the ordinance, if the driveway is under 200, he can have 12 degrees, but we're not at 200.
you
We're at-
said he can get that out of it if he lengthens it.
Well, he says if he gets 16 feet, he wants to do 12. But if we go 12 feet wide, he can do, excuse me. Yes, if he wants to do 16 foot wide, he'd want to have the 12-degree slope. If he does 12 foot wide, then we could do 10.9 or whatever it was.
No, if I was to do 16 feet regardless, if I made the driveway longer, then I would be able to accommodate the slope
At 11
at
or
11.
10.9 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But then I would be, so it's at 239 feet, so then I would be at 280 feet or whatever. So I'd be making it even longer.
Very long driveway.
That's where your calculation is gonna come into play.
Right.
You got a lot to play with. You got, what? You got 110,000 square feet. Right? You said it was 2.5 acres?
Yeah.
2.3,
Does it,
2.5.
what's that?
2.5 feet.
I said it's 2.5 acres. He's probably got 11 to 12,000 of impervious that he can do. But you still got to do the calculations.
And plan for erosion control.
Yeah, the driveway would only be 4,400 square feet.
Yeah. Yeah. If it was at
So-
16,
Yeah.
16 by 250. Yeah. And your house, full footprint is a 2-story.
Well, it can't be a
Yeah,
flat driveway.
half of
It's
it-
gotta
it's half
be
of it is
a
up.
crown on it.
I think you'd be
I mean,
fine.
I think you'd be fine.
Still gonna have to have a crown on the road, I would presume, for water runoff.
Yeah, I think they have that in the initial drawing.
I'd like to see what those calculations are before we do anything here, say yay or nay. And plus, you're gonna have to take into account the footprint of the house also, when he makes those
You got a
calculations.
design on the house already?
I got a design on the house already, yeah. Is there a scale on there where I could just do a quick calculation on this or no?
I
Well,
don't-
you said,
Well, I would,
280 for driveway?
And the driveway isn't all on his lot either.
The what?
But he's,
it's,
it doesn't matter.
No.
He's still taking up surface. It won't matter if it's on that lot or not. His driveway will still be calculated to his lot. That's how Dane County will look at it.
Think so?
Mhm.
correct.
For impervious surface, they'll look.
Because when you share a driveway, they take your shared portion and add it to your portion that's on your lot, like two houses that share a driveway and then they split.
Okay.
That's how, out there on Hugh Bread,
Yeah,
that's how they, because I remember Chewy dealing with that out there.
okay.
And the same way out on Ridge Road too, for those houses that were,
Oh, yeah, the 3,
yeah,
I did Truey's house.
did you? Yeah. You remember that then?
Yep, Chris Miller built it,
Yep.
do all his houses.
Yeah, I guess I would I'd like to make a motion to have the applicant come back with the square footage at 16 feet wide for whatever route the driveway is going to take, with a 34-foot radius at each corner at Vilas Road, to allow the vehicles to turn off of, and calculating this footprint of the house as well as his pads, and actually run it by the county, see what they say. And
You
then
need
we
that
can,
radius both at Vilas and at the turn, the T between the two driveways.
yes,
And how much clearance on both sides of the 16?
it's got to be 3 foot on a side, but it doesn't have to be necessarily disturbed. I mean, it could be
Right.
grass.
Could be grass or gravel or-
Square feet.
Is that your motion?
For the whole driveway from the Vilas to the house.
You only have 5,000 from Vilas to your house for all the driveway.
Yeah, so I'd easily be, should be good. Okay.
Should be.
Is that your motion?
Yeah, do you think, so you're saying only 5,000 square feet?
It's only what, 33 feet from the right of way?
So you've got,
33.89 feet times 16. And then you got your 289 times 16. It comes out just above 5,000.
okay, what about the pad up at the house?
And then, then the pad and
And then the
the
footprint of
house
the house.
foundation,
Yeah,
which shouldn't be more than 5,000.
Another 5,000, yeah, it wouldn't be.
That'd be ginormous. You probably have enough room to put a shed in too.
Did you make a motion or?
yeah, I'm still considering, still continuing with my motion, just I didn't remember that stuff on Ridge Road being that much bigger than what we're talking about here.
The 3 houses they did,
Yeah,
it's a lot longer driveway.
but it's not as wide though. We didn't have our 16-foot ordinance back then, did we?
That's 16 feet.
Is it?
That paved driveway, yeah. That's dang near, it's big as Irwin, if not bigger, actually. That was done since I've been here. That's a lot longer though, that's like almost 400 feet to that back house.
So then that should be 18.
Should have been, but I don't know if that was in effect then, but it should have been. So that was like my first couple of years here, they built that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Jeff would have been in charge of that. I wouldn't have been paying much attention to it.
But that's,
That he has over there.
Okay. Yep.
Even if he burned.
I know a guy got like a 1,200 foot
100,000
driveway.
between the house and the driveway and all that, he still got 100,000 square feet.
it's a long one.
I don't think square
You
feet.
and, there's another guy
I
on
calculated
Jargo's got one too.
Does he? Oh, the one that goes way up?
The one that goes way back there, yeah,
5,166.
crosses the trail and
Yeah, yeah.
that's probably 1,200 feet too. Probably close, at least 1,000.
So in light of those numbers, I'll withdraw my motion then. Sorry, Kim.
So you just said, so
I was,
plenty of variance in it, or what?
no, I was just gonna have him get all the numbers. I wanna know exactly the square footage, who, what, where, when, and why.
Yeah.
And was gonna direct him to do that. But when Christie and everybody's coming up, Dan and Troy are all coming up with the same numbers,
Which is
I'm
what,
sure that,
that it's good, or
yes, that it's what, 50 200 square feet plus or minus.
He'll have, between the house and the driveway, even if he burns 10,000 square feet, he's still got another 100,000 to play with.
Okay, so he could make the driveway bigger then,
He could make the driveway longer and wider.
which would satisfy more people.
It would, yes, it's just now he's running into tearing out the trees and things like that. That's what he'd like to avoid.
Whose house doesn't that happen to when you're building out and that?
I know. Yeah. So that's where we're at. He's got the area. Now it's just a matter of,
So you would be willing to build to the specs of 200 feet or more, except instead of 18 feet, you'd want to be 16 feet.
If at all possible, yes.
That would be, that's really all you're asking for is that one thing, 16 instead of 18, but all the other specs at that level, the base, everything else.
And the grade,
And that grade is 11.
11, yeah.
You said-
Especially with what the fire department said, yeah, I would be able to, if I was able to do that, I should be able to.
The only variance you'd be asking for is in that item C there on the bottom of page 2, you want 16 instead of 18 in item 2.
Yes.
And extend that all the way to where the existing driveway that I'm coming off of extended all the way to the road.
I would check with insurance companies, see, they got rules, you know. What they just aren't gonna give you.
If he does this, there should be nothing holding it up.
Shouldn't be.
What's that, Dan?
He said if he does this much, there shouldn't be anything holding up, fire EMS. Shouldn't be.
Does he have to change? Is there a culvert there? I can't remember.
Yeah,
Bottom of the road, there is a culvert.
yeah, the driveway, yeah. You just have to make it longer to accommodate
Is
for
it,
the
is it
wider.
the 24? I mean, is it big enough in diameter right now?
Oh, yeah,
Because it says 24 in, or the,
no, 24 feet.
yeah.
He'd have to go longer if he widens it at all. But we're asking him to widen the thick or the meat of the driveway, not necessarily the entry point.
Okay.
Although moving their mailbox would help. It's right on top of the driveway.
Yeah, it is.
Move it a couple feet further south would be nice.
would this still have to be looked at by Dane County for the length of the driveway? As far as, no.
Yeah, they're just gonna look at square footage of what's covered and.
Yeah,
They're gonna give you all your drainage stuff too, all what you're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
Just personally from building a house, not to do with any of it. Just definitely check with Dane County for the stormwater,
Okay,
because those are,
Land and
they might
water.
surprise you.
land and water is what I'm doing
Yeah.
next,
They
so,
might surprise you. I put in a lot more than that.
yeah,
Doesn't mean you can't do it. It's just that you may take out trees for that
yeah,
and you'll be upset about that.
yeah. We had, I built close to water at one point and I had to put in 2 rain gardens
Yep,
and
there you go.
everything else for being within the shoreline or
Yep.
whatever.
Absolutely.
Everything's up there, perked and everything, and
Yeah, it was perk tested, you know.
And this has passed perk testing as well?
This has
that's
passed.
what I just
Yeah.
asked, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, the previous owner, I can't remember his name, before who I had purchased it from, had it perk tested to build a home on.
I think it's been for sale for quite a long time.
It was for sale until 2017, they sold it, and then the current owner has had it since then, and it wasn't for sale. I just, happenstance by it.
What's your opinion, Dan?
I don't know. I like that it's wider than 12 feet. And I think the fire is gonna be a lot easier, especially with the 16 and 16. A better turning radius.
And insurance will probably answer the same questions.
Would the insurance company be interested in it if the fire department didn't have an issue with it though?
They wouldn't be happy
Well, I
if the
mean,
fire department said, we can't get up there.
Right, that's what I'm
You know,
saying.
they
though.
wouldn't insure it.
We can get anywhere with a hose, right?
Yeah, right.
Can you
There's
clean a
some
swath, are you willing to clean a swath that's 24 foot wide to accommodate the 3 feet of either side of an 18-foot driveway, 18-foot wide one? Is that possible or not?
I guess I don't know.
So
So
if you put an 18-foot driveway in,
Yeah.
gouge that out, you're gonna put your base in, and then you're gonna have 3 foot on each side, it's gotta be cleared out to accommodate whatever mirrors or anything on the emergency vehicles. Right, so if we narrowed it down to 16, you still have enough area to clear out. So it'd be instead of 3 feet per side, be 4 foot per side. Or you're gonna run into hitting some of those trees. you're talking
well,
about.
so for the clear, yeah, that's where I guess I couldn't give you an exact answer on it. Ideally, I would do 3 feet on either side,
Mhm.
and whatever trees fall within that, for that path, we would have to take out.
Okay.
Cause on your thing here, you have 18 feet, right?
Yeah, 18 feet is that path right there.
So I mean, technically, yeah, you just have to go to 20. 19, whatever. $21.
well, supposed to be 6 feet on either side, right? On the longer one?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
6 feet?
18.
Oh, 16, oh yeah, that's right, 6 feet or more on each side, not 3 feet or more.
I think that's based on the ability to do 2 trucks.
Well, it's not gonna do any
I
good.
think that's just branches and stuff though, right? That's not, yeah, that's, yeah,
At 16
That's
feet,
not-
at 16 feet, we can't put 2 trucks drive side by side.
yeah,
At 18, you barely can.
yeah. I'd like to see you do it at 18.
I am. You just get in the grass.
Yeah,
It's definitely gonna be a one in, one out.
What I wouldn't wanna see is build the road at 16 foot and then have an oak tree 3 or 4 feet away.
Good
Because
point.
you come down there and you can't stop or.
Big tree. Yep.
Hit that tree, that I have seen happen. Where in the winter time,
Mhm.
granted, it's your vehicle, you know, you're gonna pull yourself off the tree, but emergency vehicle's not a thing.
You're right, Troy. If that did happen, how could an emergency,
Yeah.
record get there too?
So, and then thoughts on being that's on the west facing slope. It's gonna
always
take.
be shaded till the very late afternoon.
The what was that?
The shade where the.
Oh, yeah,
driveway
shade,
goes
yeah.
out, the shade. More for winter time. So. just- Oof.
Do we have to go to Dane County to look at this, or what, he does not have to, or he does have to?
No, I don't, but based on their numbers, I
They'll
would
look at
say-
impervious surface, but it seems like he's fine.
Yeah.
We'll hear about the driveway itself.
The widening the driveway is you're looking at some trees you don't want to cut down.
Yeah.
Correct?
but
Correct, and yeah, and just disturbance of everything else, yeah.
Well,
if you went up to 18, how many trees would you have to take out? Which is only
An
a
exact
foot.
number, I don't know.
But I mean, it's only a foot on each side more than a 16 footer.
plus the 16
6,
on either,
yeah.
either side, so it's 30 feet wide.
You're only thinking, the
Instead of
18
20.
is just the paved part, or the gravel part. He still has to keep 6 feet open.
6
Right.
feet.
You go from 22 feet to
Side,
30
both
feet.
sides.
So
30.
30 feet wide versus 22, 20.
Either
Big
way,
chunk.
though, it's 2 feet more than it would be if it was 16. You know, if you
Yeah.
give him a variance to
give
16,
you 2
either
more
way, it's
feet
2 feet
of
more.
clearance.
Well, to me, the important thing is the air, the drive surface. Okay, if he was to cheat on the variance of the outside, only say it'd be 3 feet each side or 4 feet each side. That would be the variance I would think, because I don't know, it just seems that if we're gonna, driveway that long, and if we're talking about giving variances, then what's to come, who else could come in and ask for a variance?
Was this at the planning commission or no, or?
No.
Nothing at all?
No,
It wouldn't be.
It wouldn't?
Variances are always town board.
Hmm.
This isn't the planning, this is.
I,
this is-
but the
this is-
house isn't, nothing to do with planning and
It's
nothing.
nothing to do with planning either. This is all strictly complying with an ordinance, which is the town board.
I think going along with Troy, you said the 18 and then reduce the excess on each side down to 3 feet on each side or 4 feet on each side.
so, because if you went 16 and you had, it'd
6
be,
feet on each side, but rather than that 18 of,
More impervious, more asphalt,
right,
less cleared space versus less asphalt and more cleared space.
I think I'm inclined to. go
There's no
with
asphalt
that.
involved here, is there?
Well,
nothing.
or
Well,
hard surface.
hard surface, gravel then, yeah.
Yeah, gravel, hard surface. I mean, that's what we set up to be our expectation for the long driveways.
Mhm.
Did you have to plow this one?
No, it's private. Private driveway. Although technically there's more than one landowner. I just thought the intersection of it.
I mean, trees and that are what to me, if you had rocks along the side, yeah, it's not necessarily clear, but it's not like there's any growth there. They're gonna interfere. Be big trees along the edge that would bother me. Not so much for you.
here's,
Go ahead.
I mean, like Pat said, though, I mean, I guess as long as you're never thinking of getting more than one vehicle to meet on it.
Yeah. So then you're saying going on a 16-foot,
I mean, that's what you need your width for, is
Right.
to meet.
oh, even including the driveway and the clear space?
Well, because if you're gonna be right out to the edge of the hard surface, your mirrors are gonna be out
Yeah.
further, you
Yeah.
know?
That's if you, for trees and things like that. If the trees were all back, even if there was little scrubby stuff, it wouldn't matter. I mean,
I don't think that's what the ordinance means, but.
no. Here's something that I just finally was clicking in my head. On page 2, paragraph B, number 3, this is in the 16-foot wide. It says an area of 8 feet or more on each side. So you've got 16 feet wide plus additional 16, so that's 32 feet wide.
It's clearance of 14 feet.
An area of
16
8 feet or
plus
more
that.
from each side of the edge of the driveway.
Oh,
It's
that's
actually
6.
shorter on the wider surface.
Right, but I'm saying that that's on the 16-foot width of a driveway, but the 18-foot is only 6 feet.
Because it equates to the same number.
The same number.
Yeah, it's the same number. Of clearance of width.
Didn't think of that.
Regardless of
I thought it was
how much you
22.
have.
I thought it was 6 feet
Hard
total,
surface.
I guess.
No,
Yeah.
so they're the same, so the trees have to be cleared to the same width.
It's just the paved part of it or the
The amount that
gravel space.
cut and fill and erosion and everything else.
Be less, yeah. But you have to be free of branches, trees, all that stuff. Because in case you guys need to
Right.
go side to side.
Well, if you pull in your driveway and there's an Amazon truck,
6.
you get whacked all the way out.
Yeah.
That's true.
We have some roads that are 12 foot wide, right?
Roads?
Yeah,
No.
16?
Yeah.
What is Loudon Road?
22. Well, not the whole thing. 18 on that narrow stretch by the houses, but 22 on the start and it just narrows there in that old section. And
Thank you.
then Kim's Road that's goofy too. That's like 19 part of it, 16 on part of it.
So where are we at here?
I was just reading that state statute on that. It's 86.04.
You know, we're talking about emergency in case of a fire or
Ambulance?
an ambulance, but you know, we all like to have people over, and where are people going to park? You have to have it wide enough so people can park on the side or someplace off, and yet
Extra people that are showing up and
can drive out, you know, those that are parked out. And so you would need, I think, that 18 feet to have that extra space, so you can have.
That's why we were gonna do such a big pad at the top too. 30 feet by 50-foot pad.
What if we said 18 width on the driveway with 3 foot clear on the side, so it'd be 24 feet.
I can support that.
And that would cut down potential for him having to, that, honestly, removing trees shouldn't be part of our discussion here. I mean, it is what it is, but
Accommodate a little bit.
yeah, I just,
there's nothing there right now, no driveway at all. nothing?
No, and I originally started looking at this property 2.5 years ago, and it was a residential one lot at the time, and I didn't even, when I had met with Kim, I first said, talk to you about the CSM, is when I had learned about this new driveway that went into effect for 2025, I believe. So I didn't,
No, that's been.
for the 18 feet and
Yeah,
plus
I
the
did
6
that
feet.
in 2017.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Okay, so that was the first, maybe it was I had talked to her about the length of the driveway.
We changed,
And-
we
and then-
changed the base.
Yeah, we changed them
Okay.
much.
Okay,
We used to
that's-
only ask for 6 inches of gravel.
And now it's 12,
Yeah,
which I
'cause-
think everyone does 12 anyway, so, which it should just be 12 because everyone's gonna do it. anyway.
Yeah.
But then, that's when I learned about the
Yep.
18 feet plus the 6. I'm like, I have to get 30 feet through here. And when we were looking at just doing it at the one property with the cutback, it's gonna be 500-foot driveway or whatever to be able to get it all the way up there, because you're gonna have to go back and forth and then come in, so.
What do you got for big trees?
How many
Large, big trees?
on the property?
Near the driveway you're looking at?
Probably a 75.
Oh, boy.
And then the cut and the fill and the erosion is kind of what we were more concerned about, is making, 20-foot retaining walls to accommodate the width of the driveway.
I kind of look at it this way. He puts his 18, puts the driveway in, and we relax the amount of space on the side. If it becomes a problem, he could always then remove whatever he has to remove, but at least we give him the option.
so what are you thinking as far as relaxing the free space down to per side?
The what?
Free, How much free space can we relax it to? It's going from, was it 6 or is it 8?
Oh.
We read
6 on a side
6 on a side,
for 18 feet.
relax it to 4 on a side, give them 2 feet. I don't know if that's gonna be enough for
I
them.
don't know.
Is that enough
That's
for you?
only 22. I think that's a little bit narrow. Dan, what do you think?
So 18 foot gravel, 4 foot per side.
No, if he was saying 4 foot total, just 2.
No, 4
No.
foot per side.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
4 foot per side.
Yeah, 4 foot per side or 3 foot per side. But will that give you enough?
So if I was to do 16 though, say I did a 16 foot
Yeah.
and then I had it clear of debris of the same, like what would be the difference? I
The
guess?
difference is 2 feet of driving space.
And
For
more in
vehicles.
compliance with the ordinance.
Yeah,
right.
I think that's why I support 18 feet, but not 16.
You ever do things big enough or wide enough or long enough and that you really think back, you know, in the future and you think, God, I should have done that, you know?
We end up like Korfmacher out there, he rebuilt his whole driveway because it wasn't wide enough.
Yeah.
Which one?
The guy up on the top of the hill, the old
Oh, okay.
house there, they
Martin's old place.
They built the driveway to that and then they rebuilt it again. Schneider's went and did it a couple years ago. Cause you couldn't even get a delivery truck up there anymore.
We got lots more to talk about. What do you think? What do you think?
So is that a motion from you?
Oof.
Put you on the
I'm gonna make a
spot.
Motion pretty soon. or something.
Yeah.
Tell me better, we'll be here all night.
I'll make a motion to relax the cleared areas of an 18-foot wide driveway from 6 feet each side to 4 feet each side.
Second,
So you're holding them to the standards under item C, but you're allowing him to only have 4 feet on either side instead of 6.
Let me see my item C.
Otherwise, you're holding them to all the standards of C.
Correct. Are you okay with that?
Do I have I guess, where do I go from here if I'm not okay with it?
Well, you ain't going anywhere.
I guess
What,
it is what it is. I came in asking for 12 and then it's 18 plus.
It's the issue of they were set, these parameters were set, not just like we pulled them out of a hat. I mean, it's demonstrated need and the ability for our fire guys and gals to do their thing without having to worry about whether they're gonna get up or get down. And this is not just middle of summer trees and the, leaves in the trees, and this could be middle of winter. I mean, or whatever the conditions are. And this was planned, I think, for not only the size of the vehicles, which aren't getting any smaller, plus taking into account inclement weather. And that's how they were arrived at. And so, yeah. We get a motion, we get a second on the table. Is there any more discussion? Kim, you okay with what Troy put?
Yeah.
Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
All right,
thank you.
thank you.
Where are we going for breakfast?
So we still haven't beat our EMS meeting from last week.
Yeah.
4
We
hours.
got an hour.
4 hours, and 10 minutes.
He is not happy.
No,
I'm sorry, it just,
No.
Some
it's-
places,
well,
if
he
you
should
wanna
have
build
researched
it-
this beforehand.
if he
Jesus.
doesn't do it, I mean, you're not gonna get trusses up there.
No,
And in the
They're on
long
18
run,
wheelers.
in the long run, he'll be happier than hell.
Might have been trying to cut a little cost.
Well, but like I said, so If your house, would you redo your house smaller? Well, well, maybe the driveway, well, you can't make the driveway smaller. Yeah, Jesus.
Anyway, let's press on. Discuss and consider request for quotes for the 2026 highway maintenance projects.
So the only thing really different from last year are we have the bids due at 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday, May 15th, with bid opening at 10 o'clock that same Friday, and then it'll be on the town board agenda for Monday, May 18th. Is that about what you were thinking? And then Dan obviously did all the different specifications for which roads. Otherwise, it's our usual request.
I think it looks good, a new approval.
Second.
Motion by Christie, second by Mike, to approve the date and time of the bid opening and acceptance of bids. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Kim, what date did you say you were gonna?
15th, so you'll need to be here. 10
Better
o'clock,
put that, what's that?
10 o'clock.
I better put this down right now. Give me just 1 second here. Okay. All right. Next item, discuss and consider posting expiring citizen committee positions.
So usually the way we've done it is we ask all of the expiring committee members, citizen committee members, if they want to serve another term, and if they do, it's up to Steve or the chair to recommend that or not, and then you guys all vote on it. Last year, we had a resident that was kind of upset and felt that we should be advertising all of the expiring citizen committee. So that's one option. This year, and in the last few years, everybody has wanted to continue. We haven't replaced anybody for quite a while. This year, I have one plan commission member who does not want to do it. Another one who said they'd be happy to not do it if there was somebody else interested. I have the same on the Parks Committee. I have one Parks Committee member that is done, another one that said they would step aside if there was somebody else. So I for sure have Parks and Plan Commission that we should advertise. Everybody else, and the only other citizen committee is Emergency Government, and everybody, there's only one expiring and he's willing to continue. So, the balance becomes, you don't want your committees to turn over every year. You want the continuity. So I don't know, but I just thought I would bring it up that we did have some criticism a year ago that they should all be advertised and interviewed for. You at least need to advertise those two.
And I guess I would say we should.
We should too.
But if you know somebody.
So do you want to advertise everything or just the ones that?
The ones we have known vacancies for.
Okay.
And that would be just on the website, right? Or send an email to people that have signed up to receive notices.
Well, it would be a post on the website, a news and notice that also goes to everybody who signed up for news and notices. Maybe we would also send it to the people who are signed up for Plan Commission agendas, people that are signed up for Parks Committee agendas, and then obviously on the Facebook page as well. And then if you know of anybody that you specifically think might be good, I don't think there would be anything wrong with alerting them to those notices because not everybody is online to those things, but at least that's how I would probably do it.
And put a deadline of,
So you're gonna wanna make your appointments at the next meeting. I would guess that you'll wanna interview if you have more than one. You'll wanna interview maybe at your next meeting. You'll wanna talk to the ones, so they would send their qualifications or whatever, their reasons for wanting to do it and how they think they would be qualified, and then you could, interview at that meeting and make your appointments, because it's May 4th, there's no they expire at the end of April, or May 1st essentially. So, there's no committee meetings before that board meeting, so you'd still be covered if you did your appointments on May 4th. So I guess I would want to have them probably by in the next week for sure. I would put them in packets Thursday,
Most definitely.
so.
Everybody okay with that?
Mhm.
We need a formal motion? Probably should.
I move that we post expiring citizen committee positions,
Just the known vacancies.
the known vacancies, yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Christie, second by Troy to post the known upcoming vacancies on the citizen committee positions. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discussion regarding placing emergency sirens in the township. This came up from a couple of emails and phone calls that we received from residents, stating that with the severe weather that occurred over the last week, they were unaware that there was a tornado in the area, and they were wondering if tornado sirens in the township would be appropriate. And Kim and I both contacted Andrew Beckett from the county, and the sirens are traditionally there for people who are outside and away from a TV or a radio or whatever. And that's why they're there. And additionally, the full cost and maintenance, the cost of operation, maintenance would be covered by the county, but the cost of installation and all that stuff would be borne by the township. And we're talking anywhere from $25,000 to up to $30,000 per siren. That's not cheap.
No.
And with having what, 9 subdivisions that we would have, I mean, you couldn't do one. I mean, you just
Put it back where it used to be. Go so fast.
So, anyway, what Andrew, the Beckett from the county's emergency management person, suggestion was to buy a weather radio. The suggestion he had was one made by Midland, which I happened to buy, and it worked great this whole last week. I mean, it was making more noise than, you could care to talk to. Plus, the county has, you can sign up with the county's emergency government website so that your phone would get text messages and other alerts for severe weather.
Everybody's doing
Are we getting that now?
Yes, I thought everybody's doing that now.
You have to sign up for it.
Oh, really?
My phones went off. I didn't sign
Both
up
mine
for
went off,
Yeah, Andrew said that you have to sign up for it. And he,
No, I think
No, if
that's
it's a tornado warning, it goes to, I mean, you can be in Texas, so, and your phone will go off if you're in Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never signed up
it
for it.
says,
carrier
it says we
specific.
encourage everybody, this is a couple sentences here. We encourage everyone to have multiple ways to receive alerts. More effective operations for those inside a home and building include a no weather radio with battery backup, the one I just spoke of. Ensuring wireless emergency alerts are enabled on their cell phone You have to, it's actually a setting,
Oh,
and signing up for weather alerts from Dane County's emergency notification system. And in his email, he has the link on there.
that sounds cheaper.
I have the second one, where you just enable.
And so,
Same here.
That's probably what it is, because mine went off and my husband's didn't, but
That's,
it doesn't surprise me.
Can you just, is it on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just have to
I
turn it
guess
on.
that's what we did, I guess.
so anyway, maybe what I would say, Kim, if you wanted to put a little blurb with that link from Andrew on
Yeah.
how to sign up for,
We'll post that.
huh?
We'll post that.
Yeah, on the website.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, really.
And unfortunately, just its sheer economics would preclude us from putting up sirens in every subdivision.
Which direction? South probably couldn't hear the ones in the village?
The only
You know-
complaint I heard was down in Rolling Wheels, I think.
Yeah.
It's Guy High, that area.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I could hear two of them
Southwest.
from my house.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
sure heard.
Well,
them.
winds were out of the southwest, so they probably couldn't hear.
We couldn't hear. I couldn't hear anything,
Really?
but I heard my phone.
It sounded like it was right outside our house, the
I
siren.
know, ours did
I don't know
too.
where that siren is, but
I think it's up by the water tower.
is it? Wow, it sounded like, yeah, every time it went off, we were like, siren's going,
Yeah.
but wind was bringing it right towards us.
They took the one down by Houston's, right? It's gone.
Yeah, the one over here.
Put it back. Would not be popular.
So anyway, I just wanted to bring it up for everybody that appreciate the comments, and I wish we could accommodate you, but yeah. And then next item, discuss and consider approval for deputy clerk treasurer millage to attend the Wisconsin Towns Association Spring Clerk Workshop.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Does she go?
Yeah, she said she's interested.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I'm sorry, I was plugging in. Who's the second?
Oh, second.
Okay.
Public Works.
One ROW, charter out of Woods Ridge, hooking up that new house on the new section there. That's the only one I had since the last meeting. Public Works activities, we've had lots, picking up storm debris. Started mowing parks. Started rolling parks. I rented a roller before the storms hit, so it's like, well, we're getting it, so I guess we gotta roll. You know, we got trees laying in the ditch yet, I gotta get cleaned up, but I'll get those done next week. They're not in anybody's yard, we did everybody's yards first, so. But yeah, other than that, not much.
Okay.
As usual.
Clerk Treasurer's Office update.
Some here, you had election stats. We had, for the spring election, we had a total of 1,280 voters, which was about 47% turnout. 303 of them were by absentee ballot. They went very smooth. Two done, two to go. That's all I really have, I guess.
Okay. Board reports and communications. Don't have, Kim and I and Mark Roffers got together and we're putting or I should say, Mark, after our meeting, is putting the finishing touches on the fee schedule for the impact fees for out at North Star in that area. I think that's actually relatively quiet, quite honestly. Committee reports.
Deer Grove had a very long meeting last Thursday night. Lots of people in the audience and online. And it was stimulated by the chief sending a message that he had been awarded hunts to train to become a therapy or a comfort dog. And he has developed a policy that he proposed for having this comfort dog, as well as pets at the station. It was the conclusion of the commission to not have pets come in, but that the comfort dog will be allowed for him to train. Right?
And it got rather lengthy discussion because one of the commission members had taken their concerns, their thoughts to public or social media. And so my email was blowing up. I think your email was blowing up. Social media was blowing up, and so which should have been something relatively easy, turned into just a real kind of slinging the mud back and forth for a while. And so currently, the policy is being fleshed out to allow the parameters for possible to have the dog in the station. But the fire chief from Deerfield, the fire chief from Cottage Grove, and the EMS chief were told to sit down and figure it out and then come back to the commission. And we'll see what things look like next
I was
month.
disapproved. He couldn't bring dogs.
No, he can, the chief can bring
Just that one.
the
Yeah.
therapy dog that he is
Yeah,
training.
okay. So
But they came with a policy that Christie was referring to allow anybody to bring any animal in. And we,
Dog,
but that was
Dog.
disapproved, right?
correct.
no pets, no pet dogs.
This wasn't Mounds Pet Food or,
So who owns the dog? The one that's gonna be there?
what's the name of technically the name of that company that's provided the animal?
Oh, well, so it's provided by,
Yes,
okay.
correct.
It was purchased by a family in Columbus for the chief to use. And the chief pays the veterinary bills and the food and does the training, but does not own this dog. And the insurance for it is also covered by the people that own that dog, own hunts. So.
Custom canines.
Intricate. The good news is the two fire chiefs were also at the meeting, and they were in agreement of sitting down and working it out together. And Chief Lang has agreed to purchase an air purifier for the air, and so we're moving forward. But it was a very long meeting.
Yes.
You just can't keep things simple. You know, it's just impossible.
Oh, and one other thing, very important thing, that currently the way that the IGA, the intergovernmental agreement for 3 municipalities for EMS, there is a line in there that allows for a commission member to go via FAR Direct to the commission's attorney to ask questions basically about anything. I mean, it's, as long as it didn't take up more than 1 hour
2 hours.
2 hours, excuse me,
The attorney
of
said.
the attorney's time. And this is without any other knowledge or approval by the rest of the commission. And anyway, that individual approached the attorney and started what turned out to be this whole big blow up with the dog, requesting that the attorney's opinion on various and assorted things, all without the rest of the commission's
Unbelievable.
advanced knowledge.
How the
Now,
hell did that ever get on there?
huh?
How did that ever get in there?
That was that commission member's interpretation of the IGA. That's not my interpretation of the IGA. My interpretation of it is that, you know, you can have an idea you want to take to an attorney, but you bring it here and we all discuss it before. And then we can have input on it. And then if we decide by majority that you can take your question,
But
then
this person just went on their own and.
Yes, correct. 2 different occasions now. So anyway, we as the commission got together and the commission's attorney was present. We gave our request to the attorney to draft a change to that particular paragraph of the IGA, basically saying that the commission will forward any requests from a member to the commission's attorney for interpretation.
Mhm.
And so that's in work.
Good.
which also took some time to
Yes.
resolve that issue.
Correct. So that was that.
And
A good time was not had by all.
yes, rather long.
I have nothing else.
Nothing.
I will be adjourned.
Oh,
I'm
really?
sorry. Would you like to stay?
I thought you want to stay around like you always do. I'm
We
just
have a
kidding.
motion.
That's a joke.
Second.
No.
Motion by Christie, second by Troy to adjourn, non-debatable. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, boy.
See you back tomorrow night.
Oh, yes, I mean, this is, did you get that